Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Jenkins, and this is Chubby Diaries Presents Inspired 2021. We all know that 2020 has been a crazy year. So my whole purpose of this limited series podcast is to motivate and encourage people to be able to pursue their dreams and goals for 2021. I hope that y'all enjoy these 10 amazing guests, and here we go. You can also download these episodes on all the major streaming platforms like Apple, Spotify, and Google. And then also check us out on IG at chubbydiaries__ and on our website at chubbydiaries.com. Here we go. Inspire 2021. What Inspire 2021 is y'all know 2020 and how it has been. It's been a tumultuous year. And what we're trying to do is bring just a little bit of joy, a little bit of hope, and for the most part, just want to inspire you for 2021. So whatever it is, I have like amazing guests that are coming on the show, and I have one here with me right now. It's my brother from another mother. I met Austin here in Austin, believe it or not. I met him here in Austin. We have a mutual friend, Nomadic Matt. It was his birthday, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And his energy, his presence, like the moment you're like around him, you're like, man, I really like this guy. And so it was just, I mean, I felt like a bromance started ever since then. So I'm going to actually do his intro or his bio because I thought it was like really cool. But yeah, so Austin is from Austin, Texas. He is known as the CMO of Proof, which is a Y Combinator backed tech startup, and is the founder of ProfitPass, a club for founders and subscription companies to grow recurring revenue, launching in February. So I'm super excited about that. We're definitely going to talk about that. But it's his fun facts that are making me like laugh a little bit. So did y'all know that Austin is the top business stock photo model? And that was all by accident. So we're going to ask about that one in a second too. And he is the Lord of 1 square foot of land in the middle of nowhere in Scotland. So I'm so excited that you're here today, Austin. You are literally my first podcast guest ever. I'm super excited. And so that y'all know, y'all, I wasn't even planning to do a podcast last Monday, and it all just worked itself out. And we have our first guest on. So welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, man. We'll talk about some fun stuff. The Unsplash model thing is a hilarious experiment that has kind of taken off. We'll talk about a little bit about traveling during COVID and what next year has to come, some cool stuff going on. We can talk about how to make recurring revenue for yourself, make this a year of memberships and subscriptions in your life, how to have monthly recurring income, because we have monthly recurring expenses, right? We pay for Spotify and Hulu and all these things, but how much of that is income every month into your life?
True.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, let's go ahead and jump in it. So I want to start by just asking the question of, like, why did you get into tech?
Dude, I think it was all a circumstance, a happening, because I'm right now in our office in Austin, Texas, and this is, 4 years now into the making. We have, teams, we have a bunch of people. I have a studio now here. But where it really started was when I was in college, going to school at UGA, University of Georgia. And it was the day that I ended up spending $1,000 with a stranger online to buy his online course.
Wow.
And, I used all of my spring break money. Instead of going to the Bahamas that year, I thought, I'm going to pay this guy who says he'll teach me how to make money online. And
wow.
I ended up spending that with him, took a risk on myself, took a bet on him, and ended up saying, Dave, I'm going to do everything that you say, and let's see if what you have works. So I hired him as a coach. You know what? A year later, I move in with him.
Wow.
Amount of success in that year because of his guidance. Ended up moving in with him across the country, and that's when Proof started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so can you explain a little bit about Proof?
Yeah, so Proof is a tech startup where we help online businesses convert their visitors into customers by showing social proof, which is this idea. Have you ever been to, I know you love all the local food and restaurants. Have you been to Franklin's Barbecue?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
Dude, okay.
Like the #1 barbecue restaurant in the world.
Right? It's famous. And what time does that line start in the morning? It's like 4 a.m., right?
Yeah, it's early.
So the longer that line gets, the more social proof, validation, trust is built that, hey, Franklin's has some really good barbecue. And so really what our software is kind of like bringing that line of Franklin's Barbecue to your website, showing how popular your products are, showing how many people are buying, how many people are looking at your products. And that builds a lot of trust and validation and credibility for your brand online.
Wow. And I definitely know that there are people that are listening to this right now that have websites that aren't even doing anything with their websites that know that they actually need that social proof. So I definitely would tell people to check that out because it's something that people are needed. Somebody just asked, what's the link to?
Yeah, the domain is uproof.com.
I love it. I love it. So we can dive right into, because I really want to get into the ProfitPass and talking about like subscriptions. So like my first question is, how did this even just birth? I know it's coming out in February, but how did this idea birth? And then I want to get into like how people can benefit from subscriptions.
Yeah, well, let me tell you a story because I started my very first little business back when I was 12 because my mom is a single parent who I just hated seeing her work all these different jobs. I saw her for like 1 hour a day. I had to let myself in from the door and cook my own hot dogs and ramen. And then I just started hating asking for money. So I started a little lawn business. And what I came to find was that was really fun. But the most rewarding part was being able to buy her a red bouquet of roses on Valentine's Day with my own money, and that just felt awesome.
You are the man.
So that was like the initial zest for entrepreneurship. But when I started to realize that subscriptions was the game changer was 10 years later when I ended up selling that same business to a neighbor of mine because I had some of my clients for literally a decade on recurring for $25 a month. They would get lawn care service.
Wow.
And then my second adventure in the subscription economy was I switched into e-commerce, boxes on subscription, selling supplements on a monthly recurring subscription. And this actually wasn't my business, even though I was a business owner. Might know some people that are in network marketing or multi-level marketing. I ended up doing that for like 2 years. And while I respect the hustle of it, and I learned a shit ton about how to build a membership and how to sell products on subscription, I really wanted to, have that product be my own product. I wanted to sell my own thing. Now, also, I really wanted to learn how to do my own marketing and literally double down on that skill. So that's when I switched from learning how to do box subscription, like e-commerce subscription, to selling digital marketing retainer services. And that was, instead of selling something that was $120 a month supplement, I was selling things that are $2,500 a month services.
Wow.
And I had clients on subscription teaching them how to do Facebook ads and doing Facebook ad services for them. Now,
wow.
I'm really scaled up and you get that cash flow. And so now that's my third subscription economy lesson, where now I'm going from just like commoditized products to something that's recurring over and over and over again at a high ticket, $2,500 a month. That's when things got interesting.
Yeah. So
I'll leave you with two more. I'm on now number 5 of my subscription lessons. I ended up switching from doing this themselves to teaching how to do this in lessons.
Okay.
And subscribe for $30 a month to get lessons on how to do better marketing, from doing Instagram lives to Facebook ads to writing really good emails. All of these things start to add up. So we got quickly from, basically having the self service at $2,500 a month to instead do this yourself for $30 a month. And we ended up getting over 1,000 subscribers in 30 days.
Wow. Wow.
So now we're making 20 grand a month, doing a whole lot less work at scale. And that's what actually led to a community that let us found Proof.
Okay.
We found all these people that really needed a software to build credibility, especially in the early days, and something that can make Facebook ads more profitable. And so all this story led up to Proof today, where we end up selling a subscription of a software recurring. And now we have 20,000 sites that use Proof, and the average person pays $79 a month. And so you start to really see how these things scale. But the key here is recurring revenue. You got to always have subscription. Are you selling something once, or are you selling it where they buy it once, but you sell it every month? And that's when a business really scales up, man. And that's when you can start, getting funding. So, we've raised millions of dollars in funding at a great valuation.
Did y'all hear that? That millions of dollars, not just a couple of thousand.
Yeah,
millions.
We went through Y Combinator, and it's predictable. That's why investors like it. They like seeing every month customers are coming in, they're paying, they're happy. You interview them, and they're ecstatic. How unhappy would you be if you could never use this again? And they're like, I would hate to lose this product, and that's so sticky.
Hey, so quick question, real quick. So just for like people who are just hearing about subscriptions for the first time, or they're in the travel space, or they're just creators, what would the benefits be for them to just like jump into it right now? Or even like, how should they even go about like thinking of an idea to even get into subscription?
Yeah, well, the beauty is I want to make sure that we start with the reason why. Why do you want subscription? Well, the thing is that most likely, if you're an entrepreneur today, whatever you have going on can probably be converted into a subscription model.
Yeah.
And the result of doing that is you'll have less headaches every month, in the fact that you won't have to worry about where your customers are coming from next month. You won't have to worry about, how to win back, getting repeat customers, because they're already on repeat. So you can start to build your tribe. Then you can see you're more predictable. So all your cash flow, you end up not having to like guesstimate what your expenses will be, and then what your revenue will be, and then so therefore what your profits will be. You can actually see, like, on a month-by-month basis what your profits will be. Because you can guess to a really, specific number, estimate, I should say, not just guess. How much money you'll be able to pay yourself, how much money you'll be able to use for expenses like marketing. And then it'll start to compound every month from there. You can then really start to build a tribe. And I like to think of, these are not customers anymore. These are members.
Yeah.
And the difference of being a customer versus a member is you treat them differently. The sale, the relationship doesn't end once they purchase. It begins.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good point. And I wanted to just even to piggyback off of what you were saying, even for me, like I'm listening to you right now and I'm like, wow, like just hearing what you just said of this isn't just the ending, this is the beginning of a relationship. This is the beginning of a membership to where now you're a part of this tribe. And this is something that I was not even thinking about. Like even how to even make money off of it. And so even for the person who actually has another job and they want to make this like a side gig kind of thing, it actually would be very beneficial for them to do something when it's subscription based, because a lot of times what it sounds like is very passive. It can be very passive, like passive income.
So I would say in the early days, for the first 2 years, it's going to be, you're not going to be trading dollars for time.
Gotcha.
And you're not going to be trading products necessarily for time every month in the way that you have to go and sell a product, and then it's, you know, you're done with that sale and you got to go find your next customer and sell that product, because they're coming in every month with a repeat purchase.
Mm-hmm.
However, that doesn't mean it's passive. You're still doing work on the business itself.
Okay.
But the beauty is that over time, you can start to compound and leverage the work that's been done before. You see residuals of that work starting to compound over time. And it can become very predictable, which is the beauty here. Now, I would say if you already have a business and you're looking to add recurring revenue, by just switching over and saying, hey, I'm going to add you onto auto payments and have that coming in every month, that actually makes your valuation of your company go from, instead of about 2 times annual revenue, it switches to annual recurring revenue, and that makes your company now about 6 times your annual recurring revenue. So you if as an entrepreneur, your net worth is often tied up into what your business is valued, right? Mm-hmm. Do you want to literally 3 to 6 times your net worth?
Yeah, I can say yes. For me personally,
just switching over to a recurring revenue model.
Wow.
Now, not only will you make more net worth on paper, which you can go and find investors and you can build up your team and do better marketing, then you'll also be able to find your 1,000 raving fans. These are the customers and the people in the tribe that you support, and they'll be with you for a really long time. You can double down on and ask them. You can give them a direct microphone and say, what do you want out of this membership?
Yeah.
And rather than saying, I'm going to create a product and then ask people to buy, I'm going to have members say, what do you want? I will make it for you. It switches the roles.
Wow.
And so now they feel vested into the creation of a product that they actually want, and it's less risky for you to do that nowadays.
Wow. No, that is such great information. Like, y'all, I don't know if y'all are grasping everything he's saying, but definitely go back and listen to this podcast, because that right there was just some amazing information in regards to just like the whole like subscription, but it's also building that reoccurring revenue that actually just helps us out. And one thing I wanted to mention, like Austin, like for me, I was never like, my family, like we just didn't grow up in like the entrepreneurial spirit, and like this is just something that's like brand new to me. So even in the past 3 years, getting into like owning my own business, getting into the tech world, it's like I'm learning this stuff now, and finding out that finding out that I can actually do this stuff, and how like being able to generate my own income instead of having to work for somebody, I thought that was just so motivating and encouraging. And I definitely just want to encourage y'all that y'all can actually do this. And this is something that is definitely beneficial, and that can definitely help generations to come in your family. So I had another question. What advice would you give someone that's trying to pursue a career like yours?
Well, let's switch roles here and make it about Chubby Diaries.
Talk to me.
And we can talk about how, let's just go in a make-believe world right now and let her wander and figure out what might the Chubby Diaries community want out of a membership that is tighter knit, that is like the exclusive part, the one where maybe you do retreats, maybe you do products, maybe you do consulting, maybe you do, there's 9 forms, there's 9 products that you can sell on subscription. And I won't get into all of them today. But the interesting part is, whatever reservations that you have that you think needs to be true, we can release those today and say the community is going to create the product that they want. You, the entrepreneur, are to supply them that product. Don't get romantic about what it is. You get romantic about helping them. And the way that you find out which product to choose is the one that's desired the most, and often that is on two scales. How frequent is the problem, and how severe is the problem? And so then you put them like this, on a frequency and a pain scale. And you want to find problems that are really frequent and really painful. The more frequent and the more painful, the higher the price tag, and also the more sticky the product is, which means that they'll stay around for a long time. They're not going to leave because it's a frequent problem that they feel pain, and if you can solve it well, then it's game over. You'll have a customer for life. And to point out, to prove this out, did you know, Jeff, that in America, people are more likely to get divorced than they are to cancel their Amazon Prime subscription? Yep.
Oh my God.
People are more likely to get divorced than to cancel their Amazon Prime subscription.
Yeah, I believe that. I actually believe that. I've had my Amazon and like Netflix subscription forever now, so I'm not going anywhere.
That's right. And it's because it's a very frequent, very painful problem. The problem before was, shipping takes a long time. The problem is that products are expensive. The problem is that it's hard to find products searching on the internet. These are all very painful, very frequent problems. Amazon has continued to solve all of those, and they keep chopping at the bit. They find the right movies. They get music. They have, all of these discounts. They have so many pieces. And so that's what they've done is they started with one problem, and they now created an ecosystem that continues to get better month after month. And now you have a member for life. And so let's circle back to the Chubby Diaries subscription.
Yeah.
Let's say that it begins, I'm going to go into make-believe now, okay? This doesn't exist yet. But let's just say that it begins with an exclusive membership where you travel the world and doing reviews on the best places to go as a happy, chubby human that wants to go and, experience the best travels of life. And here's the coolest hotels, the best excursions, the best food, all of these things. And now you start to develop this adventurous chubby tribe, right? Now, in the pursuit of doing this, you attract a very specific human. Now, on the back end, once they're a member, guess what you could do?
What's that?
You partner with brands, clothing brands, or other brands that might support that specific avatar. And solve other pains in the ecosystem that they might find really valuable. And you could do discounts because as a chubby travel, how do you call your tribe? What is the name of your tribe?
Oh, we're Chubsters. Yeah.
Chubsters. Okay, that's funny. So Chubsters, as a Chubster, then you would have this, all of the Chubster discounts. And so you can go and list all of your partners that are a part of that. And then you could maybe, get with airlines and get discounted flights because it's also part of travel. Add up this whole little membership, this ecosystem, and it becomes more and more valuable every month.
Wow.
You could end up doing a upsell mastermind. Let's just say it's a $10,000 retreat where you do all of this for them. So people pay a huge premium. Often that upper class level is often for skip the line, or faster, better, premium. These are what we're willing to pay more for, or just do it for me. So you could start a whole travel agency where are you a concierge, the Chubster concierge, and now this is this premium experience where you set them up. They don't have to do anything but sit back, relax, and let Jeff do all of the work for you. See how this experience...
I love that. No, I was just saying I love that. That's incredible. Like, my brain wasn't even thinking about like any of this. And so that even just shows you, even from the example that he was just giving us right now, that there's so many ways and of like bringing together like a package that can work for anybody in any field that you might be in. So if it is in travel, which we do have a lot of people that are in travel, this is definitely something. One of my friends on here just said, Jeff, listen to Austin right now. And I was like, yes, I'm taking notes. I'm definitely taking notes. So Austin, we are going to wrap it up real quick because these are only supposed to be 20 to 25-minute interviews. So last question. This is going to be the question I ask everybody at the end of each interview. My question is to you, what inspires you about 2021?
What inspires me about 2021 is that the future is brighter than this past year. I think that there are things on the horizon. I think traveling is opening up. I think that people's health will be better in this year. I think that our relationships will be better this year. I think that we'll be able to now. I think this here's where it comes from. Number one, I think 2020 taught us about what's important. Yeah. And so we've relieved ourselves of the things that aren't important, whether it's the products, the relationships that were giving us cancer, the way of life that were, maybe in splendor, that were too much, getting rid of all of the extra shit. Mm-hmm. We've now rid ourselves of that and focus on what matters, the people, our core crew, our core family. Yeah. And we got rid of our excess. This upcoming year, we're going to now actually get to enjoy that core foundation that we have today. And I hope that we just don't revert back to our excess ways.
Yes.
I hope that, we realize the importance of health now that we've taken it for granted for a lot of the last decade. And today we, recognize what can happen if we ignore health and our sanitary, being sanitary, making sure that we, when we travel, we really soak up the sun and get out there. And I also think that this year what inspires me is we're going to rid ourselves of fear. Because hope is on the horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah. What inspires me most is the mindset that's on the up and coming. I hope that everybody feels that in the next, how many days we got left? 21 days, 22 days. The next 22 days, allow this to be a transition. And so that when you start 2021, you can enter it with abundance and grace, and that you allow yourself to heal and start this upcoming year on the right foot.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Allow this to be a transition so that we can walk into that abundance and grace. Austin, this has just been incredible. Brother, I am so glad that you got to be my first podcast guest ever in the history. So you're literally making history right now with me, brother. So I can't thank you enough. I'm so glad that you're here. But really quickly, can you tell us where we can find you, the audience can find you?
Yeah, I mean, if you click on, I think Instagram somewhere around here, we'll probably have my profile at Austin Distel. You can, check out the weird articles I put out sometimes at distel.com, just my last name. And find me anywhere else on social media at my name.
And also just look forward to ProfitPass in February.
That's right. Yeah, you guys got a little prequel of what's to come. This has been an idea that's been sitting on my mind for a few years now. How can I help people build recurring revenue to give their life predictability and really scale up your profits in your personal life as well, enjoying them and traveling and loving the people and giving gifts and all the things that you want to do with your wealth. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure. And let's go get a beer and some tacos sometime, bro.
Let's do it. And the pleasure is all mine. Y'all, I was just nervous doing this. This is my first time. I was like, I hope the pacing's good. But no, thank y'all so much. Please, y'all can download this and listen to this podcast on every streaming podcast platform that you like. You can also find it on IG Live. But thank you so much again, Austin. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We did it, y'all. We made it through the first one. I really hope that you enjoyed that episode with our friend Austin. Hey, you can also check out 2 more episodes that dropped at the same time as this one on December 15th. We're also going to be dropping 4 more episodes on the 22nd, and then we'll end it with the last series of episodes on the 29th of December. Remember, these episodes are for you. We want to be able to bring value and be able to inspire you for 2021. You can download these on any of the major platforms, and I also need your help. If you got anything out of this today, we'd love for you to share and also write a review. Thank you so much again. Also, visit Cardia Advisory Group at Cardia, Kardia, Austin.com. See you on the next episode.